Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here, Golden Opportunities Coaching. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you who are seasoned veterans. What we do around here, we take social, emotional, and coaching related topics and we discuss them in discernible language. We are on a bit of a roll as we've had a couple days of consecutive content, hoping to get to daily content. That's my goal anyway. But anyhow, so we're going to talk about best friends today. I saw a sad statistic the other day, actually a month or two ago, and there was a survey, and it said that 72% of people said they don't even have a best friend, and that just to me feels really, really sad. They surveyed like 5,000 people, and 72% said they don't have a best friend. And I, in various forms of my life, both in my adult life and in my younger years. High school was tough. I went through a lot of bullying in high school, was a victim of bullying, and so didn't have a best friend in high school per se until I got my first love, and then we were each other's best friends and partners. But during middle school, had a best friend. In later adulthood, probably 15 years ago, had a best friend. Have a couple of best friends now. So I can't imagine what it would be like to live life without a best friend. So here's an interesting list of things that best friends do for each other, and that a person might be your best friend if you're experiencing a good number of these. So they'll complete your thoughts and your sentences. So they know you so well that they know how you're going to react to things before they happen. That's a beautiful thing because sometimes you can be in a situation where you can't really talk something through, but they will anticipate how you're going to react, and they may step in and speak for you, or they may. And what's really nice is when you go to the restroom, when you go to a restaurant, which post-COVID, hopefully people can do again, and then you go. And they can order for you, where they know what you need because they just know you, and they complete your thought. They know what you're thinking. They know what you like. They know what you don't, and they're there for you. So the other thing too is they support your inner dreamer. You know, the crazy ideas that no one else would get. You want to go on tour with ZZ Top. You want to write a book. You want to become a professional athlete. Even if they look at you and go, it's going to be tough, but I got your back. They support every crazy idea that you have, and they do it simply because they know that anything is possible and they believe in you. Now, they may look at your idea and go, this is nuts, but I got you anyway. This is nuts, but I support your desire to want to do it. I love you. I accept you, and anything I can do to help, we'll get you there if we can. And so that's another one. Having your own language and inside jokes, a series of them, usually is a good experience. I know there are certain phrases I can say to certain friends from a decade or more ago, and we haven't thought of it in years. And I can say a phrase or two to these people, and they'll go, and they'll finish the sentence, and we'll all laugh, and everyone looks at you like, okay, what are you laughing at? None of this makes any sense. And it's like, well, there was this time. And you get to tell the story, and you rebond with your best friend over the experiences you've had. It's really interesting. And I remember when I was in middle school and somewhat high school, that was a common thing. Now, with millennial and generation, I guess it's Generation Z, the generation that's in school right now. But anyway, it seems that more people text than talk. So maybe having an inside, language or stories to tell may be a thing that's kind of dying out. Who knows? It seems kind of weird and kind of sad. So, consistency of contact with each other, be that by phone, be that by text message, email, whatever have you, it's going to be higher with your best friend than anybody else. They're going to tell you the things that no one else would care about. They'll tell you what they had for lunch. They'll tell you what they're thinking. When they have a great idea at 3 a.m, you're going to be the first to know. And they'll tell you, this new movie's out. They'll tell you anything. Basically, they're like your own emotional Google. It's kind of a cool thing in that regard. The next one is they'll just pop by your house. They'll pop in to check on you just because. They won't call first. They won't tell you they're coming. They may not even know if you're home or not, and they may not even care if you've given them a key to your house or wherever you stay, you may come home and your best friend may be sitting on your couch or playing with your puppy because they're just so comfortable being a part of your daily life and daily existence. Sharing goes without saying. Sometimes sharing turns to stealing, especially when it comes to food. What I mean is, hey, that looks good. Can I have some of that? Glunk. And before you even get the asking out of your mouth, you've taken a bite. Or you might let someone borrow a video game. I remember video game trading parties among friends was a big thing when I was a kid. So everyone would walk away with a few new games for the month, and then you trade them back at the end of the month, unless you hadn't beat it yet. Then you try to bargain your way into keeping it a little while longer till you could beat it, because who wants to give back a game they haven't beat? But then it's just there. You share everything. You might share a toothbrush in an emergency situation. Not advisable, but seen people do it. The next one is they will be very protective over who you get involved with as a partner. And if they don't think that person is the right romantic match for you, you're going to hear about it, and they will nag at you until you either leave that relationship alone or until they get another opinion on that person. They're going to be very hypersensitive about you committing too quickly. They're going to call you out if you're not treating your significant other properly, and basically they're going to be all up in the business that is your romantic life. The next thing is they'll give you random gifts. I've got a best friend right now who is also a person that does some work for me, and he will bring me random stuff, just, candy bar I like, or my favorite coffee, or, hey, I saw this at the store, I know you like these things, how about you try a new flavor of? Sometimes that goes well, and other times it doesn't. But, they'll bring you food, they'll bring you your favorite, I guess back in the day when we had CDs, they might buy you a CD if they know who your favorite band is. But more than anything, friends give gifts on a consistent basis. It's not about the money. It's about the thought and carrying them with you in everything that you do. The next thing is they will bail you out. And I'm not just talking about jail at 3 in the morning, although many times your best friend will do that for you too. But if you're in a uncomfortable place, you're on a date that's not going well, you need to get out of work early, you need to get away from your family because the holidays are just a mess, whatever it is, if you need something, they will be there for you, and they will conspire with you to get you out of difficult situations. The last one, and this is the best part about having a best friend, you can have fun doing anything and everything. It doesn't matter if you're playing the newest video game, or if you're just walking around downtown, or if you're just sitting in the same room going, hey, what should we do? I don't know. Why don't we climb up on the roof and dive off backwards and do backflips? Okay, and they follow you along, even if there's a good chance they're going to break some bones. So no matter what you do with your best friend, there's always a good time to be had, and that is really, really valuable. I hope that you have a best friend, or if not, you're in the process of making one, because it's a human experience I think is necessary for everyone to be full. And so until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.